Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about defense mechanisms because as human beings, we do develop defense mechanisms to deal with any and all threats that we face, whether we are conscious of it or not. So in this particular video, we're going to talk about the numb defense mechanism because when you're dealing with narcissistic abuse, there comes a point where your body has to decide how you're going to deal with all of this abuse. And sometimes we choose to just become numb. Now, I personally experienced this myself. And what do I mean by this numbness? Well, we detach. We detach from our own emotions and feelings. Or we're so far away from them that we can barely feel it or acknowledge it, basically. So what would this look like? This would look like us being disrespected, or something happening that you would think would cause us to feel very hurt, but instead we feel nothing. And why does this happen? Well, after you've been hurt so many times, you realize how bad that feeling is. So you learn how to detach from your emotions and feelings to prevent yourself from going into that hurt place again. And then, of course, if we do this over and over, we've created a pattern. And this, it's not all bad, because that numbness or being able to detach can be helpful in emergency situations. But once we make a pattern of it, it just means that we're doing it in all aspects of our life. So basically it would be carrying over into all types of areas. And pretty soon you have a person who's emotionally unavailable, a person who is emotionally cold. And this actually backfires on us because it would then allow us to be able to further tolerate a person who is disrespecting us, a person who is not serving our best interests and honoring us and our essence. So, that numbness that's helping us in a moment is actually hurting us in the long run, because now we're minimizing it, because what they're doing is going to feel minimized if we're not actually feeling it and acknowledging it on a regular level. Okay? So for some of you, you may be in this place post-narcissistic abuse, and you're like, okay, Lakia, all right, well, I'm one of the emotionally cold people. I'm one of the numb people. What can I do about that? Well, first of all, don't beat yourself up over the head, because I've been there and I've done that. And yes, it was a survival mechanism that I used because I just simply didn't want to feel it anymore. I didn't want to sort out all these emotions. I was tired of feeling the hurt and the pain, and I felt like it was easier for me to just check out emotionally from any and all situations and to deal with things strictly logically, so to speak. But what I found is, that led to me bottling things up. And what happens when you bottle something up? Pretty soon the bottle will get full. And what happens when you continue to bottle up after the bottle gets full? It will pop open almost like a champagne bottle, and the cork just pops out and there's an explosion. I eventually developed panic attacks. So, I had to do the work one way or another, because if we don't release those emotions and those feelings in a healthy manner, eventually our body will force us to do it, and it will choose when, where, and how that comes out. And through some people it could be an emotional breakdown, like mental breakdown, severe depression. Like, it comes out one way or another. Okay, so what can we do to get more in touch with ourselves after we've become, emotionally unavailable and emotionally cold towards ourselves? Well, we can decide to go there. We can decide to sort it out. We can decide not to bottle anything up anymore. We can decide to take control of when, where, and how to address this, and address the things that we've gone through so that it doesn't, sneak up on us and hit us when we least suspect it. Counseling and therapy is a great way to begin to, open this bottle before it explodes open, and to just begin talking about things, starting from your childhood, so you can start sorting these things out. I do offer coaching, guys, for those of you who want me to help you with that shadow work, and we can start from the beginning and work our way up to the present, and so that your future can be different, and your present actually can begin to be different as well. I do offer that via FaceTime, Skype, voice calls over the phone, and I do have email packages as well, guys. Okay? But, even if you don't go through me, just find a therapist that does understand narcissistic abuse. So yes, therapy is one way. Another thing that's very helpful, or it was for me, was writing it out. Almost like writing your life story. Writing is a release as well, I've found, at least for me, and most people I've talked to agree with this. When you're writing it down, it's one way of getting it out of you. If you have someone in your life that you can confide in, even outside of therapy, like a good friend or close family member, talking about it helps as well. Okay, and just being real with yourself, stepping out of the cognitive dissonance and really embracing the truth, even if it hurts to acknowledge it. Because denial is mixed up in there, it's like swirled in that equation of being emotionally cold. There's a level of denial there, because you're denying your emotions and your feelings. You're denying that situation. You're trying to turn a blind eye to it. You're trying to push it down, push it over there somewhere. But understand that when we do these things, they never really leave. These things never leave. This is how someone could have been molested at 5, and now they're on their 60th birthday. They're having an outburst because they never dealt with that situation. Trauma doesn't go away. We can manage it down, but it never goes away. So when you've dealt with traumatic experiences and you choose to just push them away, or you feel like you could have felt like me, a lot of times when we're dealing with a narcissist, they put us on the defense, guys. So, we have all these things going on in front of us, and it's like, look, I don't have time. Or you feel like, I don't have time to deal with my emotions right now. I just need to get through today. I need to get through my work day. I need to get through my responsibilities. I need to put one foot in front of the other and get out of bed right now. I don't have time to deal with these messy emotions and these sad feelings. I need to just be proactive with my situation. And I completely understand that as well, guys. But there comes a point where we have to make it a priority, and it has to be addressed, because it will fester and it will show its face, oftentimes very ugly, eventually. Okay, so I hope this video resonates with someone. It's it's quite normal to become emotionally cold yourself and distant after dealing with narcissistic abuse, because you see what opening up and using your heart led you to. So a lot of people just don't even want to tap into that space. And it's a phase that we go through in a healing process. But for some people, it becomes more than a phase, it becomes a way of life. And while I do talk a lot about not prematurely attaching yourself emotionally to people and being careful with never trusting anyone 100% and all these other things, which are still very true and accurate, becoming emotionally cold and distant across the board obviously will prevent you from dealing with issues, and it will prevent you from actually enjoying the positive things as well. So it's kind of like you're blocking out the good and the bad. So we want to find a happy balance, a happy medium to where you can begin to decipher and trust yourself on when to indulge emotionally and when not to indulge emotionally. Okay? So if this video resonates with you, please feel free to hit the like button. Feel free to share any and all of my videos, guys. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and make sure you're hitting the bell so that you will be notified when I upload, other videos. I have over 300 videos on this channel, guys, and I put them into playlists to help you find certain topics. But go ahead through the videos and take out what you can. If you find yourself in a depressed state right now, I have a playlist called Motivational Videos for Those Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. Go ahead through that video. It's probably about 40 videos in that playlist, and they're there to uplift your spirits. So if you wake up and you're having one of those days and you're kicking yourself and you're beating yourself up against the head for, ending up in that situation, go ahead through my motivational playlist and be uplifted by it, guys. That's what I made that for, because we know we have those moments, those days and those times where we're feeling triggered, where we're feeling down and out, where, we're just feeling abused and hurt, and it's a lot, guys. I know it's a lot, okay? But just know that you're not alone. I have the Facebook support group, Lakia Reflection and Progression Crawford, and that link will be underneath the video. You can just inbox me and let me know that you're a survivor, because I have a lot of people requesting me for that page, but I really want to just make sure that it's only survivors that are getting through there, okay? And that's another way that you can communicate with other survivors and get positive messages from me. Your life is not over. Your life is not over, and emotions aren't a bad thing. We just have to learn how to manage them, how to use them, just have that emotional intelligence become stronger, okay? So that we're not just throwing them all away, because they are useful, okay? So guys, please take care. And like I said, I do offer the coaching, and I do have the books on Barnes and Nobles and Amazon.com. You can go to LakiaCrawford.com and you can read excerpts of my books, and they're also on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. Those links are under the description as well. The books help you heal from toxic relationships and help you with your shadow work as well. I do recommend reading them in order: the X Factor Volume 1, then the X Factor Volume 2, The Beauty of the Eye. And for those of you who have experienced sexual abuse, I wrote a book called Silent Tears: From Survivor to Survivor, a book to help you do the shadow work and speak to your emotions and psyche. I have written exercises in there and things that you can do to get back in touch with yourself, and just helpful information that goes beyond just a bunch of statistics and pamphlets like you find at a doctor's office. Okay, guys? So until next time, guys, continue to do your shadow work, continue to hang in there. Things are going to get better, and please take care.